Joe, you just tell me when you're ready to go, okay, buddy?
All right.
Can you talk to me again? That's
What?
Okay.
What's up?
Still sound
So it's like,
Well, there's a vent right above
why
me. It
that-
sounds like I'm in the shower, yeah.
and it sounds like you're at decimal 10,000.
Oh, I probably am, actually. I can turn myself down.
your voice sounds good, but it was like
Well,
the
thanks.
first time I noticed that was last Friday. I guess it's when the vent goes on or whatever, but it's like, shh,
It's
I've never
always
noticed.
on.
That's the first time I've ever heard of that. Well, last week I heard it.
Sometimes it blocks it out. Sometimes it doesn't.
But we are in an airport. That's probably, we can just say that's why.
Well, this is why I sit outside the room. And this thing does sound really sensitive.
Good morning, everybody who's jumping in. Ben and Chris and Bendy and Karen and Annette.
It's Thanksgiving week.
Hey, Mike, good morning to you, bud.
Mike has the cutest dog on the planet, I think. And it looks like Ground Zero Hal is already here on Rumble with some really happy, positive advice that Israel nuclear armed terrorist state. He's always talking about murder and killing and death.
Well, I mean,
Chipper guy.
He's very chipper every morning. I keep asking him to come on because I don't think he agrees with the thing I say. But I like his name, Ground Zero Hal, because my son's name is Hal. But he won't ever come on for some reason. Aaron says Thanksgiving week. Vic and I were just talking about that. That's been going on for a long time, but I've just now noticed that people are really advertising it now.
I've seen it a lot.
You've seen the skanks,
Oh, yeah.
the skanks themselves?
I've seen the advertising of it for me.
I just wondered if you saw the skanks themselves.
No. Yes, we at Wenty's, Ben.
Yes.
That's what we had. We were
Yes.
just talking about
We're
it.
going to flash that picture up too, Ben, because I saw it and that's what made me think of it, because that's such a good little advertisement. I think it's so funny. And it looked really good when it scrolled on Facebook. Thanksgiving week is fun. I love it.
Cool. We're just still getting the show together, guys.
It's a Monday.
It is a Monday. But I love Thanksgiving week Mondays because it's shorter. You're going to eat some stuffing and some turkey. And, I love it. Dawn says she loves the pre-show. A lot of times once the show's over, other than on Facebook, the pre-show's cut out on all of our podcasts.
Correct.
Yep. I think just Facebook it stays, but everywhere else it gets cut out. And that's in one way a shame because, Vic, you're quite funny in the show before the show.
Not today.
That's because you don't want to eat your turkey.
I don't eat my turkey.
Yeah, because you're not as excited about Thanksgiving week as I am.
No,
And coming
I'm
in
not.
coming in on Monday, and Joe has his Dr. Pepper shirt, and it was raining, so I drank a little bit of Dr. Pepper, not much, but so it's a good day to have a good day, Vic.
It's always a good day to have a good day.
Yes, it is.
It seems like some of these links are the same one, but I'm
Yeah, they are. Some of
throwing
them
them
are.
all in there.
I know why you're excited, Lizzie.
Why am I excited?
Because Joe Biden's birthday's today.
I am. So now you know why I'm so excited. Love me some Joe Biden.
I knew exactly.
There's a drop.
Right? Love me some Joe Biden. He's a hunk of a man. making our interest rates go up. And
Happy early birthday, Dawn. Your birthday's next Monday. We'll try to remember it.
yeah, I agree with Dawn. Next Monday is Dawn's birthday, so you better be happy. So we'll remember that, Dawn. And Vic is going to be ecstatic. He's going to sing for you next week, Dawn.
No, I wish I could.
Oh, he
I
is.
don't have a voice. Hey guys. Hey, happy birthday, Dawn. Joe, Paige also sent you a new graphic to the producer email.
Okay, I got it. I'm setting it up. Oops.
And you just let us know we're ready to go.
Only 5 more links to go, bud.
You're
Out of
good.
20.
Yeah, we did send you a bunch of stuff today.
Hey guys, just remember to like, subscribe, share the show, let people know. If you can donate anything, it helps what we do. It's expensive to do what we do. We'd like to continue doing it. We don't want to stop doing that. You can go to canceltheshow.com, make a donation. You can also let us know about advertisers or people that sponsor, just believe in what we're trying to do with our free speech, cancel this platform.
Hey, Vic, and we're going to throw in something somebody wanted to. So if somebody advertises this week for Thanksgiving week, you will stand with their product in your Speedo, your red, white, and blue Speedo on a tractor.
What?
Yeah, you didn't listen last week. Eric and I were here and we made a whole bunch of...
Oh, I'd get my Speedo these days. Yes.
Yes, you're going to get
Gotta
a Speedo.
pay bills.
Mm-hmm. So
do
anybody
whatever
that
it
wants to
takes.
advertise, Vic is going to be in a Speedo for you.
Yeah, it's not that cool.
We don't care.
All right.
It would just be fun.
All right.
Actually, it would be cool. I'd really like it. It'd make my day.
I'll be the singing cowboy from New York.
I love it. I love it.
That way I can hide my gut with the guitar.
Says the man that works out every day.
No, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
All the stress and I have not been eating well, drink too much. I am not in shape, buddy. Thank you though.
He looks great, and he'll look great in his Speedo too. And if you feel better with the guitar in front, that'll be great. Then you can sing to Dawn.
Aaron, I am the HR, so it's already passed. We're good. We're good to go.
That's a comment for HR. We're going to call corporate.
I wish we had a corporate.
Right? Right. I'm calling corporate on you, Vic.
I wish we had a corporate. I wish we had HR.
Right.
Joe, we ready to ride? No, we love you guys.
Indeed.
It was I was hoping it was going to be all downhill today because Mizzou won on Saturday. Mizzou football. I'm a big fan, of course. My Lions won yesterday.
Great game.
One's 8-2, or they're both 8-2.
Yeah.
It's all 9-2. Mizzou's 9-2. Lions are 8-2. Never in my lifetime. So damn cool. Put Vic on a white horse, bareback, shirtless, like Putin did. Sure, I would do that with whatever the company's name is.
Yeah, let's do it.
On top of getting the advertising.
Somebody, when you're in your Speedo, wants you in cowboy boots on top of the lawnmower.
Yeah. Well,
we're going to do all that to Vic.
MIZZOU. Don says, I do know I share a birthday with Jimi Hendrix. Good for you.
That is good. We need to play a Jimi Hendrix song then next Monday. Okay. I'm going to write that down. Okay, Joe? Okay, Joe's got it down.
Want me to roll the intro?
Yeah, let's do.
We're ready to go.
I was just thinking about how disgusted I was at myself. I was at a party this weekend, and I can't even tell you how long it's been since I did a Jell-O shot.
Did you do a Jell-O shot?
And felt like a teenager.
Oh, I love it. Those are my favorite.
I was like, why am I doing this? I mean, it's like I'm having to here we go.
Okay, let's hear it.
Like it's stuck to the cup. So you're having to stick your tongue.
You have to stick your tongue all around it.
No, I've got a big tongue. It's easy.
Okay. You could use a spoon and do it.
I did, but still, it's like, okay, how old am I doing this stuff?
Jell-O shots are my favorite.
I had a feeling.
You knew it. They're my favorite.
Oh, brother.
You don't ever get too old for a Jell-O shot. Once you feel like you're too old for Jell-O shots, then you're dead.
I may be dead.
So you need to
I
like
am
your
dead
Jell-O shots.
emotionally. I am dead. Dead. All right, go ahead and start the show then, Joe. We'll go. Hey guys, welcome into cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Pro Joe. Everybody in the house ready to go on a Monday. It's November 20th. This is the podcast, cancelthisshow.com. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. You can catch all of our original content right there. Like, subscribe, share those as well. Go back and look at them. By the way, it's a great place to advertise too, because when we put those advertisements in there, it's evergreen advertising.
Yes, it is.
It's always there. We love it. We are news headlines, business, cancel culture, education, interviews, politics, you name it. We're always kind of free for all, Conspiracy Theory Friday. This week, we're here Monday through Friday. We won't do a show Thursday. If we can make it happen, we'll be taping something, a small something for Friday, or we'll do a best of show. We are grateful that you're here, though, from that standpoint. Pro Joe, you had a good weekend. You did a show, the old Tom and Jeff show out of St. Louis. You had a tribute Friday night. You'll be playing that when again?
On Wednesday at 6 p.m. on audioinkstl.com.
Yeah, Wednesday STL. I had a chance to meet Coach on Friday night. People who don't care nationally, but locally, Coach, he's still in KC now, right?
Yes, he's there with Scotty on the Josh Innes show.
Yeah, as soon as he heard my voice, he's like, Vic Faust, how you doing? And he's
such a cool guy.
Yeah, for people who don't know, he's legally blind, and he's a genius, and he knew my whole story, which was really cool. So it was nice to meet him. I hit it off with Kara the lesbian, at least in my mind.
It was good to see everybody hanging out.
I think Kara the lesbian's partner didn't like me talking to her so much. So
no, I think she didn't.
I think she was jealous of me.
I think so.
I don't think she has anything to worry about. I don't think I think she knows it.
Correct.
Anyway, sorry to have some fun with that. It is Monday. Lots to get to here. J6 video is finally being released. I am sorry. Gosh, I need to.
You're getting all verklempt over all the news coming out about J6.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff coming out.
J6 videos, Biden creeper video today, NBA player wearing a kafaya. I mean, it's consider the source there. We'll get into all of that. President Trump back in the news today with a couple different things. A new president in Argentina, which kind of shows a shift around.
Mm-hmm.
The creators of the movie Sound of Freedom, they have a bunch of anti-woke movies coming out. I'm really excited about this. Very excited about it. We'll tell you how many Chinese nationals are actually known to have come into the country just in October.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better.
No.
From what you think is going on. And when it comes to elections, Merritt County electors admitted a big problem that they had with their voting machines. I'm sorry, I'm not in a very good mood today. I'm kind of in a bad mood, and I always try to be in a good mood, but I hate the freaking news that's out there.
It is. The news is bad, and here in the St. Louis metropolitan area, it's dreary outside and rainy. Maybe you have
I appreciate your
climate depression.
Yeah,
some people do.
Climate. I may.
I don't know. I kind of like the rain. I mean, I don't want it every day, but I like the rain.
Yeah, we need it. The entire country needs it, believe it or not. We haven't had a lot of rain. We've actually had a pretty good fall, too, all over the place. So anyway, we appreciate everybody jumping in with what we've got going on today. Right out of the gate. And by the way, happy birthday, Joe Biden.
Yay, Joe Biden.
Somebody needs to immediately move him out of office right now.
Absolutely.
And Joe Biden, The polling continues to come out. Democrats are freaking out. MSNBC's freaking out. NBC's freaking out. And in the midst of all of that, Joe Biden continues to provide us with creepy Joe Biden videos. It never gets old. Anytime that man gets a mic and he's around children, he just doesn't care. He doesn't try to hide it because we know he's like that slobbering person that can't control themselves. And, just look at the Joe Biden video.
You remember Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2? You remember the grandpa?
I don't remember.
or
I
the
don't think I
dad
saw
in it?
part 2.
Oh my God.
That thing is something else.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was like, take the hammer and hit it over the head of the girl.
Oh, no, that's not even. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's sickening.
Yeah.
Well,
That's who he reminds me of.
Well, check out. Joe's going to pop up the video, Joe Biden, over the weekend again. And we've seen him with kids.
Let me find it.
And it is scary as hell to think that this guy, what's happened in the past. I mean, these are just the things that we see in the present. Of course, Joe Biden, his birthday, turning 81 today. And the whole thing with Joe just creeps me out. Wherever he is, whatever he's saying. This video that we show you is him talking. And then all of a sudden, watch what happens.
Thank you. And I love your ears. I love them. They're really cool. What's your name?
Catherine.
Catherine, what a beautiful name. That's my mommy's name. Well, nice to see. How old are you? 17? 6. Thank you. And
He
I
always
love your
uses
ears.
that. How old are you?
I love them. They're
17?
really cool. What's your name?
Catherine.
Catherine, what a beautiful name. That's my mommy's name. Well, nice to see. How old are you? 17? 6. Thank you.
I can't even with that guy. Could you imagine? He does it. If you watch how he is around kids, he always says, "What are you, 17?" And he starts this creepy whispering stuff, and he says the weirdest things.
I like your ears.
Ears.
I
At
wanna
first, I
smell
thought he
them
said
and nibble on 'em.
earrings. He
No.
said
Oh,
ears.
ew.
No, he said ears.
Yeah, he
You're
said
right.
ears. Well, he couldn't get earrings out.
But that's probably true. It is so ew. It is ew.
Yeah, that was the ew factor. That really put me in a.
That's what puts you in a bad mood, because just think if that dude, he's the president of the United States and he's so creepy. We know all the stories about how he took showers with his daughter and his kids are all screwed up. That man is just the creepiest. And I'm sure if it was allowed, he should be on the pedophile list. He is disgusting.
Well, we've seen enough, from the nibbling of
seen
ears
enough.
to the smelling
Yes.
to.
I'm
you
going
name
to
it.
be, he's on a list, I guarantee.
Oh, I bet
they
he's-
won't release it.
That's
but
exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, he's on a list for sure.
Wow. He may be on a list that we still haven't seen. Maybe called the Epstein list.
The Epstein
I
list.
think that's why he's being extorted, and that's why America is going under.
Yeah, good
I
point, Joe.
agree. I agree. I
Right.
agree. That Epstein list is huge. And as long as the Democrats are in power, we're not going to know. And the Uniparty. So because there's a lot of, top officials that are Republican too, that are on that list. And that's why it's Hollywood and all that. And I agree. That's why he's there. He's covering for the Epstein. He's covering for his kids. I mean, come on. Nobody that sees this guy can actually think he's okay.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Vic Faust here, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe. We have a lot of things that we've known that have been happening in the Middle East. One of those things, obviously, you can support who you want. That's the great thing about this country. But when you do support people, you need to remember what has happened, or at least be educated on every single aspect there is. You can make statements. And when you make statements, sometimes there can be blowback. Looking at pictures of Kyrie Irving really go out of his way here wearing a keffiyeh. Now, for those of you who don't know what a keffiyeh is, as a kid growing up, the first time that I saw a keffiyeh and I went, oh, was when I would see pictures of Yasser Arafat on television. Of course, Yasser Arafat of Palestine. A keffiyeh is a scarf that goes over the head that symbolizes Palestine with Palestinian men and women. Well, Kyrie Irving, who was always making news of some sort, decided to come out in his post-game press conference with this keffiyeh on his head. Oh, you don't see that, Joe? Okay, maybe.
No, I'm looking still.
Oh, okay. So he came out with a keffiyeh on his head, and clearly it upset a lot of people. It drew a lot of attention. It had people talking, maybe thinking that that was his way to support Palestine, to support Hamas, to support anything that is anti-Israel. And it just, I mean, when something like this is going on,
Mhm.
there's once again, you can support who you want, but when you come out and wear a kafaya and do what you're doing after what happened October 7th, you're supporting Hamas.
Well, and he does it at this post-game press conference. That is so unnecessary, first of all. That's unnecessary to wear that kafaya on his head. But secondly, I've said this before on the show that this is bigger for people like that than it is just against Israel. Now, we know what's going on with the Palestinians and the Jews in Israel, and it's awful what's happening to Jewish people. But this is bigger than this. When you coordinate this with Black Lives Matters, this whole thing is anti-white hate. It's not just Jewish people. They have this whole thing going on that if you're a dark colored skin, then you're better than all these white Jews and these white infidels. That's really the bigger picture. And no one says that. But that's
The
really
color of
what
the
it is.
skin.
Oh, it is. There's this
What-
whole thing going on that when you're backing the Palestinians, and we know the Black Lives Matters are too, there's this whole regime of people that are racist. And so, of course, they hate the Jews because that's what the schools are telling you to do. But it's bigger than that. It's what people don't see is Jewish people, obviously, for the most part, are white. And so this whole Black Lives Matters and this whole pro-Hamas bullcrap that becomes a pro-Palestine resistance thing is about the color of the skin. It's all about the color of one's skin.
Jill says anti-white, anti-God. Todd says,
Yes.
God, I hope he's not in Arkansas when they're playing Mizzou Friday. I don't know why he would be there for that. Kyrie has been an open anti-Semitic forever. Yes, he has.
Yes, he has.
He has, but it's ironic because the first time I heard about anything flat Earth came from Kyrie as well.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of video that gets me thinking about a flat Earth. Does it really affect our life if you're flat Earth or not? I don't know.
No, it doesn't really affect
But that's
our
the first
life.
time I heard it. But this was Kyrie. For our listeners on the podcast, we're
It
showing a
actually looks like
picture.
he has a tablecloth on his head.
Well, to me, that's what it always looks like when you wear a kafaya.
Yeah. Well, it
And with
looks
all
like a
respect to
tablecloth.
it just looks like you're wearing a tablecloth.
It does.
But that's the Palestinian culture.
It looks like he wants long hair. I remember as a kid, I used to put a tablecloth on my head because my mom cut my hair short and put a headband on it. I didn't know I was wearing a kafaya back then, but that's what he looks like, as a guy that wants long hair and he doesn't have it. So he puts a tablecloth on his head.
So we know what he was doing by doing this.
We know.
Donna says, I really don't understand all the Jewish hate that's out there, and still going. Nothing has disappeared.
Correct.
Allegedly, there's a deal nearing to get the hostages out of Israel. We'll see where that goes. But once again, we still don't see any public displays from Palestinians on getting the hostages out, because if they did, they would be literally murdered in the streets, which shows the side that they're defending, but that the hostages are still there. The deaths are still there. And you don't get that there. Joel says, oh, I used to use towels and blankets to make long hair as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean, most girls understand that, maybe even little boys too, but they want long hair because their mom cut their hair real short. And so you put a tablecloth on your head. And that literally is what he looks like. He looks like an asshat.
Yeah,
He
Kevin says
really
it's
does.
another stupid publicity stunt
It
that he
sure
did,
is.
trying to gain attention for whatever he could. It's just one of those things that I thought was interesting because it is part of our culture. When you see people going out and saying things and doing things and getting their digs in. But once again, they're sitting behind keyboards, they're sitting behind microphones, and they're not having to ask or give an account for everything in the history, because if they did, they would sound very stupid. And it's unfortunate that there's a lot of people who do these things, and they won't wear signs or shirts, free the hostages. They won't wear shirts and pictures of the Americans who were murdered on October 7th.
Exactly.
It's all about publicity stunting. It's all about trying to make a statement so that you can get some public support from some way. And it's very sad that it's happening, but it is. Those are the kind of things that happen. And Kyrie was jumping on that. However, there were media that went after him for that. Now, I'm not saying that I'm happy that they went after him, but they were just saying, well, it's clear that he just made an anti-Jewish statement
He sure did.
by not being a Palestinian and wearing a
Correct.
Palestinian
I agree.
Kafaya.
Yeah. I mean, he does. He's not even Palestinian. And that just shows Jew hate is what he has. And in my case, I
Coming
think
on,
it shows
cancel
white
this.
hate.
Cancel this Kafaya.
Would that be equivalent to wearing a swastika?
Yes.
To some, it depends on the
Yes.
culture.
Yes. I think to a lot of people, I think today, which we have such a revved up culture with all of this race stuff, I think that definitely is similar to a swastika for sure. You know, at my kid's school, there was a kid at my kid's school.
Over 200 hostages were still being held,
Oh.
including over 10 Americans as well.
That's
That
so sad.
allegedly.
That's so sad.
Allegedly, but their whereabouts and accounts are still not known.
No, I mean, I've heard.
What were you going to say? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, nothing. It was just that when he was talking about the swastika, that still should be a big deal if you know, like if you're a Nazi. And even at my kid's school, there's a kid that he's a great young man, but he got suspended for 2 days because he called somebody else a Nazi. Literally, that's all he did. He called somebody a Nazi, but they really don't want that kind of hate in the school. And I really appreciated that. It's a Christian school. And yeah, there might have been more to the story, but so don't call somebody a Nazi.
No. Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Oh, yeah. That could be an issue. It could be a problem. That's for sure. Hey, guys, another big story from over the weekend that we've been talking about. And yeah, I mean, we've shown the videos over the years. Did you see the videos that I had sent, Joe, when I resent them? The last videos from Instagram that we were talking about?
Yeah, there's,
Okay,
I have
good.
a bunch, but
Well, there's 4. No, there were just 4.
okay,
The last
there's
one.
4 Instagram videos. Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and I don't know how it came up, and I just said, we were talking about the show, and I said, yeah, we're gonna show J6 videos. Okay. He's like, what? There's more stuff coming out?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. One of the things Mike Johnson's doing that Kevin McCarthy didn't as House Speaker is releasing all the videos, or allegedly releasing all the videos or more videos.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that has kept an open mind about what happened on January 6th and looked at all the evidence knows, even though protesters probably should have gone into the Capitol, they were set up. They were not
totally set up.
They were not a group that was rambunctious and attacking everything inside the Capitol, and countless videos have shown it. There's a reason why Nancy Pelosi, when she was Speaker of the House, refused to release the videos and had a fake bipartisan committee to go after individuals who went in. We talked about Owen Schroyer not even going into the House. It was on probation.
Correct.
Outside saying 1776 and was put into jail just for that. Well, more videos are now being released by Mike Johnson. And when we show you these videos, and Joe, you can start showing the videos, you start to get an idea again. And it's a reminder that January 6th was a setup.
Mm-hmm.
The entire thing was a setup. Now, I have gone after people and said, you shouldn't have gone in. You shouldn't have gone for it. But it was a trap. They put the cheese in there, and all the mice ran in after the cheese. And they were encouraged to do things by others who were in on it. Look at those wild protesters inside the Capitol,
Mm-hmm.
Izzy. They were ramming their way through doors. As video shows, they were welcomed by Capitol Police.
Absolutely.
Walking in as calmly as you can possibly walk in for our listeners on the podcast.
There's some that are even going through the metal detector.
We are
Yes.
showing videos of J6, never seen 4 videos, of very calm protesters being welcomed in by Capitol Police to the Capitol. At best, you can be a Republican-hating person that wants to fry every conservative, and even in your heart of hearts that it was a setup, that police welcomed them in so that they could try to go after them and make examples out of them. These are videos that we're showing right now. That was just one video we were showing. I believe there's 4 of them, Joe. And if you don't see those, let me know. But these are examples of what happened. Now,
some of them are Twitter videos, but
that if you don't have the Instagram ones, the Twitter ones are the same one as Instagram. The Instagram are just in color. Those are the ones I told you I sent right before you went into the show. So,
right. There is 4 Instagram.
Yeah,
videos,
show the Instagram ones because those are better video.
But they're not all about J6. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, then it didn't take that. Go ahead and show the Twitter ones too, because of the setup with everything that happened. It's been lost. It's been lost with all national media.
But on purpose, though, Vic.
Of course. Let's convict people. Let's put them in prison.
On purpose.
Oh, look at this.
Look at this good video.
Guys getting checked out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Capitol Police. Yeah, hold on. We're checking your bags. Let's check the backpack. I just want to make sure you don't have anything. Make sure you don't have a weapon. Look at him giving.
Look at that, giving fist bumps and high fives.
This was an entire setup,
100%.
and he's just getting everything checked out. Hey, go have fun, man. We'll talk to you later. There, once again, are those wild, crazy, out of control protesters breaking the law, causing so many problems to Capitol Police. You see what it was. You were lied to. The whole scene outside, Antifa, the instigators. Those are the types of deals that you have to deal with. And now the videos are being shown. Too little, too late. But at the same point in time, those videos are being shown. Why? What else can you get out of this? So that if anybody tries to sell you things again, and check out this guy, look at, he shows, oh yeah, federal badge. Dressed in a Make America Great Again hat.
With a federal badge.
Shows his federal badge and walks in.
Yes. And I think many of us from the beginning absolutely knew this was a setup. I've said this on the show before. I had my tickets, was going to go, was called by someone that I trust highly who was watching the whole thing from another building and said, if somebody like you goes there, you will be put in the DC gulag because of your voice, and you will say something. You will go in the Capitol. Now, I don't know that I would have gone in the Capitol. I don't know that I would have. However, I might have. I love police officers. So if a police officer had directed me to come in, I would have gone in. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? You're there because you want to find out the truth about an election.
But what are you going to do? This is where I disagreed with you, but what are you going to do?
I think power in numbers. Power in numbers. We still don't know who.
But there was nothing that you were going to accomplish by being inside, though.
Maybe.
That was my only deal.
Maybe. And you're right. I don't know that I would have accomplished any more whether I was there or I wasn't there. However, people that went there did not think by their presence would actually overturn the election. They didn't think
And I know you get caught up in that whole mob mentality, which I talk about. But once again, look at all those violent protesters.
Look at that.
Look at all those violent protesters. Look at them. Tearing things up, their videotape. Look at all those violent ones.
And look, they all have masks on their face because a lot of the people that were there that day that were actually people who wanted to find out the results of the elections didn't have masks. These people are hiding their face.
Yeah, look at them. Yeah, look at all that. That they were causing so many problems walking through the Capitol after they were welcomed in to walk in. These are the videos that are being released now that we are showing for our listeners. We encourage you to go to canceltheshow.com. You can check out all of our original content there. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house, just going over some of the J6 videos that were just released over the weekend from Mike Johnson, which he promised he would do to show what was actually happening on January 6th. Once again, there are people in prison. There are people getting prison sentences for going into the Capitol or being outside the Capitol and being accused of causing all sorts of things, breaking the law, all sorts of issues inside. Are you seeing this on local news, world news? No, you're not.
Absolutely not.
And that's why we do our best to bring this stuff forward. Once again, you will see these mean, nasty, wild, out of control protesters causing all sorts of harm to Capitol Police. Oh, there they are. For our listeners, obviously our viewers see, you see Trump supporters walking through the Capitol very calmly. Capitol Police, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Capitol.
And they're
policemen.
Watching them walk.
Just
by.
watching them. Just watching them.
They know they're coming in with "Don't tread on me" flags, and some of those might be Trump supporters, but we also know they're federal agents.
It is the calmest scene inside the Capitol,
and those officers are not.
And the elevator music is playing because that's exactly the mood. And it looks like a ballroom dance.
They're not social distancing either. Look
no, they're not, are they?
She's got her mask down and they're talking like real close.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, look at this. And that rioting that everyone said that they saw was very minor and in one little bitty section. And there's videos that you hear Nancy Pelosi in these released videos, you hear her getting upset about how this went or afterwards, because she did not want any blame for any of this.
Well, yeah,
and she and Mike Pence were involved in this.
Well, sheep were led to the slaughter. The other thing that happened on that day too is the fact that we already know for a fact there were bad there were bad actors involved who were instigating. Once again, you don't know and you don't see them being convicted because they had their identities protected. They had their
Correct.
positions protected. But in most of those cases, they were the ones starting all of the trouble, breaking the windows, trying to get in, encouraging. There are other videos that we've shown a lot of J6 videos here.
We
We
have.
wanted to focus on this again just to make sure that, once again, it's never forgotten what happened. Yes, lambs were led to the slaughter, sheep led to the slaughter, but there are countless videos of, quote, Trump supporters outside asking police for help. Why won't you do anything? Why won't you stop them? They're not a part of us. They're starting trouble. They're not what this rally or protest is about. And Capitol Police just standing there, not saying anything, not doing anything because they were told not to do anything. They were told, sit back, let them do whatever they want to do. They were told they were part of the plan. So the videos continue to get released. And now you know why. And I'm sorry, you can't trust a single Democrat that wants to talk about J6
Not one.
when they refuse to sit down and watch videos with you. And they refuse to explain why Nancy Pelosi, in the midst of this entire investigation, refused to look at the videos, refused to show you the videos, or consider those videos as part of any dirty, corrupt investigation. And I guess you could call attack on American citizens who they then went and put in prisons, at least as many as they could find. And I'm told that they're still there. That committee was still trying to arrest citizens who were there that day.
They are. They're still trying to arrest more people. They did not want this film to come out at all because, and they lied. And we've said this before and we'll say it again. They were talking about who got murdered that day and people were being mean to the Capitol Police. The only person that died that day who was absolutely murdered and by Capitol Police was Ashley Babbitt. And so they have so many lies that they've been told. And I agree that these tapes are a little too late for Ashley Babbitt and for people who have been lied to, but I'm glad they're out because how can they keep people in jail? And there's still people in jail. And tomorrow in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to David Valentine from the Freedom Express Media, who records, his company records the people that are still in the gulag, still in jail, and never did anything. There's people that are in jail that weren't even in the Capitol.
Eric wanted to remind people the video that we were showing. The people that started many of the problems there that day were part of a Philadelphia Antifa group.
He's 100% right.
A guy with a horn on.
Correct.
Nancy Pelosi's son-in-law.
Yep.
Who was affiliated with the Philadelphia group that caused all the trouble. And if you don't think they weren't paid, think again. I promise you they were paid.
You know they were paid. And he's absolutely right. And people don't say that enough.
And the due process was not there, is not there, continues to not be there.
Nancy Pelosi is the one that should fry over this. She was part of the planning it. And obviously her son, but nobody says that enough. I'm glad that Eric brought that up, that her son-in-law was there in part of instigating all of the people from the Philadelphia chapter and then incited so many problems. And you don't ever hear about him, do you?
Yeah,
you
Karen.
never hear anything about him.
Karen with the C chiming in from New Hampshire saying, yeah, I was just reading about somebody being arrested in our state recently because of January 6th.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. People still, quote, being arrested while these videotapes are put out there. We focused on and had Al Watkins. He was here first before he did his interview with Tucker Carlson, who was the attorney for the QAnon shaman. And he spoke once those videos first released. We showed those videos here on canceltheshow.com. Al joined us. We put that story out. We asked Al, your client should be released from jail ASAP. He was walked around.
Yes.
He was catered to all of these rooms with video cameras. It's almost like he had his own video crew assigned to him that he did not bring so that they could, quote, set him up.
Correct.
Well, when that video came out, we did the story with Al Watkins, his attorney here on canceltheshow.com. Tucker Carlson and crew, Fox found out about it. So Tucker Carlson did an interview, had Al Watkins on. I think it was 3 days later because Al said, guys, thanks for having me on to Cancel This. He's like, you beat everybody. He's like, I'm going to be on Tucker Carlson now. So we went on Tucker Carlson, and it was the next week. The shaman was released from prison.
Yes.
He was released because of the video. That's another reason why these videos are so damn important. And that's why we'll continue to do that as long as we're allowed to continue to do this show. And that's why we ask for support in everything that we do at canceltheshow.com. You can make donations. You can let us know about advertisers who we can get involved with, because you're not going to see this on the local news. I did the local news for 25 years. I know what you're going to see and what you're not going to see. And that's why these podcasts are so damn important, because we're going to tell you the truth and you're going to help us. That's what we do here. Once again, we do what we can to entertain and inform. You're a part of this, and we're grateful for everything that you put through forward. Chris also says Nancy just so happened to have her daughter, the documentary maker, there when all this went down January 6th.
What a coincidence.
I did not know that. If that's true, I'm going to take your word for it, Chris. Oh, but nothing to see there with that.
Yes. She was so involved in all of this. And you know what's sad, Jeannie brought up on the YouTube chat, is that the people that committed suicide, but did they? You know, it makes you wonder, because we don't know the answer to that. Did they really commit suicide because they knew what happened? There was police officers. There was J6 Capitol Police officers that committed suicide. But did they? I mean, did they? Were they the ones that were going to tell the truth?
I mean, these
so then they
videos,
got off?
Joe, if you could show one of those videos again, we were talking about, I just think about all of the people that were arrested. I already brought up Owen Schroyer as well. And I believe he's still in a prison. I think he's still behind bars right now.
He is behind
as part of
bars
his
right
60-day sentence.
now.
And he didn't even go in.
Nope.
Saying that he broke, or he violated his probation by being on, and maybe he did by being on Capitol grounds. But once again, don't you ever forget, please don't you ever forget the true videos of January 6th inside the Capitol. Not the BS stuff from outside where you had Antifa members with their faces covered, helmets on, dressed in black. And then you would have other people trying to identify as Trump supporters. Those people did not have their faces shown. They either had hats and sunglasses on, or they had big stocking caps on, ski mask, you name it. There was a reason. Once again, step back from the fray. Remember to look around, take a breath in. Don't go where the puck is, go where the puck isn't, and look at the situation and go, oh man, there is always something at play here if politics are involved. Be smarter than the situation and remember these things that happened on January 6th. Once again, do you trust the government when it comes to these situations? After the election and what went down, a lot of emotion was there during that day, a lot of emotion during that time when you feel as if you just had an election stolen from you.
Correct. And you know what? We say this a lot too. We don't really know the outcome of the election. We don't know. Many of us, me included, believe without a shadow of a doubt that our election was stolen. But they can't prove to us whether it was or it wasn't, because they never followed through on the states to find out if there was cheating. We don't know. We have no idea.
Just remember, they were let in. They were let in. They were let in. We know this country has changed. We know what has happened with the border. And by the way, if you didn't know, another stat when we talk a border standpoint, official government numbers, 7,000 Chinese nationalists have come into our country just in the month of October. Those are 7,000 estimated Chinese nationalists, either through our open border or through the ports of entry. That was during just the month of October. You know what our big deal is here. It's about bringing you truth, but the massive issue these days, it's illegal immigration. It's illegal aliens all over this country, sucking up resources, helping commit crime, and sitting still for something that is yet to come. I'm not crazy for saying it.
Nope.
It's there. There's a reason why so many, not just from China, but the Middle East, South America are here. There's a reason. God help us. God have mercy on us. Even as we have turned our backs on God in this country and begged for protection, I continue to do that as well. But think about that. This country, and we allowed it to happen through the Biden administration, through the Department of Justice, and worse, Homeland Security and Mayorkas, who the Republicans, 8 Republicans, refused to get on board with the rest of the Republicans to impeach him last week with a big sign saying, okay, who can you trust in government? So yeah, these things are going on.
Yes. And Crenshaw didn't show up. So that was really 9. So if anybody saw the list of 8 that we talked about last week, somebody didn't vote.
Well, it's how you destroy a country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's case study 101. We all know. And once again, Americans who are comfortable, not everybody, not people listening to the show, get so comfortable. Yeah, this is the life we live. Nothing's ever going to happen to us. We are America. We are the strongest. We've been told that. No, we're not anymore, because we have been infiltrated from within inside. And all it took was one man to take over the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't tell me that one man isn't responsible because of being compromised in whatever way. All of this stuff has happened under one man. It's happened under Joe Biden. It's happened under his administration. It's happened under his FBI, and it's happened under his DOJ, and it's happened under his Homeland Security. There's an issue. It's not going away. It's still heating up, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that are going on. You do have Donald Trump, because Joe Biden won't go to the border. No, I mean, and listen to the sound. I mean, you've got Donald Trump down at the border over the weekend.
Yes, that was beautiful to see.
Yeah, so we're showing you this. You don't have Joe Biden at the border. You've got Donald Trump at the border serving food.
Correct. Donald
Trump taking time to be there with our Border Patrol workers, making sure that he is bringing, and why is a photo op important? I'll tell you why a photo op's important. Because as we've talked with our friend John Rourke, military veteran, Operation Cleanup, who goes to the border and cleans up and comes on with us from time to time to talk about the chaos that is there on a daily basis, who talks about the open border, who talks about the lack of respect that people are getting. This is what it's so important to have a man like Donald Trump show up.
I've seen a lot of good things. I've seen a lot of selflessness. I saw somebody who was willing to shake every single person's hand that came through the line. I've never seen that before. He was willing to take a picture with every single person, even though his own staff was telling him not to. He was willing to do that. He truly cares about this country. He truly cares about the men and women in law enforcement, in the military, and he's shown that every single day. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the next president of the United States, President Donald Trump.
I love seeing Donald Trump there.
Me
That's
too.
that
Me too.
Once again, that is a leader. That is a leader.
And he loves America. He loves Americans. There's no one. I don't care whether it's DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Vivek, any of those people. I'll vote for them if they're on the ballot. But they're not going to be. It's going to be Trump. And Trump is going to win again. He is going to win. He won in 2016. He won in 2020. And he's going to win again. Now, I'm going to be hopeful that he wins in such a landslide that they can't cheat as bad this time.
No, it would take that. I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't know. And we're going to get into this in a little bit. With seeing what Argentina happened, I have a complete renewed hope. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But I am really optimistic about it now. Very optimistic.
Kathy says Trump is the only person that gets it. Fighting the globalization.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
And the globalist.
Exactly.
And you've got to have leaders like that right now with everything that is going on. Where are all the sound bites with Joe Biden, with Democrats talking about America first, talking about illegal immigration? You don't see it out there.
There isn't any.
And that's why I always say, it's like, I'll tell people, listen, I'm not trying to be a dick, but let's talk about it. You want to talk about it? Where is all the support? And nobody can have a legitimate conversation about it.
Correct.
And they know it. They'll either be quiet or they'll get angry.
Correct.
Because there's nothing that can be done. There's nothing that can be said. You don't have Joe Biden going anywhere. Guess where Joe Biden was for the weekend?
Where was he now?
He was back in Delaware.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, little girl, I like your ears. How old are you?
17.
Those are the sound bites that we get
Mm-hmm.
from Joe Biden, which we showed to start this podcast today. You can always check that out at cancelthisshow.com with all the rest of our original material, because you're going to see facts. You're going to see things that are happening. that is taken from you in other media outlets. Literally, Joe Biden is gone for the weekend, vacationing yet again. And once again, I'll never stop saying it. He's vacationing while there are hostages. He's vacationing while there are Americans who are still burying their loved ones. He's vacationing while there are Americans who are being held hostage and Americans who are suffering every minute, wondering what's happening to their loved ones who are hostages. And I don't care if you're thinking about, well, we're close to negotiating a deal. You're vacationing. You're being creepy with little girls again. And the outward appearance that he shows is horrible when you have Donald Trump,
Really is.
who's doing the job, who's doing everything that he should.
Mm-hmm.
He is mentally vacationing even when he's in the White House, according to Mary. Karen says Mr. Biden has to go. Yeah, we all know that. And we see what's happening every single day. It's sad what has happened to this country, what is going on. Donald Trump, at least doing what he can do, getting down to the border. By the way, Trump also, he has a DC appeals court appearance today. His attorneys are going to be arguing over a limited gag order in the federal election interference case that they placed on him as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something else you may see in the headlines today, with Trump trying to battle against that with everything that's going on.
But you know what's good about that is our youth today is starting to see that, and we're seeing a change in our youth understanding what's going on with Donald Trump.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I think so. There's even
maybe in
polls
St.
out
Charles
there.
County.
No, there's polls. I mean, even an ABC poll. Did you see the ABC poll? Now, I don't believe in polls. I don't. But
I believe in polls to a point.
To a point.
And who
To a
is
point.
doing the poll.
Correct.
If ABC's doing a poll and it
And
says
they said
Donald
Trump is winning with our youth. And I don't believe ABC. And there's probably a reason why they're saying that, to maybe rev up the base of their, I think the poll was like 18 to 30 or something like that. But I do think it's turning around, because people that have any sense at all don't want to pay more gas prices. They don't want to pay all of this. And the numbers are going to keep coming up unless they want to, they can't buy a house. Our
Well, I can tell you
can't buy a
this. Some of
house.
some of my children's friends have not changed, and they're college age. They're college age people.
How does their parents think, though?
It doesn't. I don't know about their parents.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you, I was in St. Louis City, and it has not changed.
Well, St. Louis City, you almost have to take people like that out
and
of the equation.
Towards the county as well.
Yeah.
No, that's at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. So what you can, Joe, as long as you're ready to set it up by 9, whenever, that's cool, bud. And yeah, so you just, because I know you need time to take care of all of that.
Okay.
Lizzie's not so much into polls, just balls.
Well, that's true. Okay.
Here's why.
Right.
I do believe in polls, and most of the time polls are correct. They just are. Most of the time they are.
And if that's
but
the
you
case,
have to consider who is doing the poll.
True.
And because who's ever doing the poll, that's where you have the ownership that comes in.
That is very true.
And so they want a desired result. But when you start to see the same information from maybe a polling group that might be conservative, one that's down the middle, one that's far left, then you have to start saying, okay, there's some consistency here. And why does that work? The polls that you have to believe are the ones that show Donald Trump is kicking ass in. And the reason that those polls that you can believe that Donald Trump is kicking ass in are because you have a variety of groups that are finding the same thing, talking to different people. That's where now, if it's just one poll, an outlier by itself, then
right. But all
take it
the
with a grain of salt.
Are showing that.
But when all the polls by all the the different companies are saying that, then you're like, okay. And there's only one subject matter that a variety of polling services are polling on, and it's president, and it's Donald Trump, and he's kicking ass in all of them. They haven't even looked at the polling for the presidential Republican primary candidates really anymore. Those are falling off because they're so outrageous. I mean, he was up to 50-60% because he's blown away the field, and there's no other Republican candidate that even has a shot to stay with Trump, which is interesting. So that's why the polling that you're seeing is correct with Donald Trump. And then, of course, we'll see what happens with, I don't even want to get off track, but we will when it comes to the whole mail-in balloting.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That is the problem. That is definitely the problem. And what are you going to do about it? I mean, the thing of it is we can keep saying it, but mail-in balloting is such a problem. But I've said this in the show before. We've got to do something different, us as conservatives. We can't vote on the day. We have to fight fire with fire. We need to vote 3, 4, 5 days ahead of time. And then we need to be at the polls watching what's going on.
People don't have enough. I mean, if there's people who have time to do that and they can
We
get out
have
of
to
their
make
jobs,
time. We have to take one
but
vacation
you can't
day.
watch what's going on. I don't know what you mean by that.
You are,
Oh.
if you're a poll worker, you can watch what's going on. You absolutely can watch what's going on. And if you love your country, you can take one vacation day and go up working at the polls. You absolutely can. You can become a poll worker if they let you.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. You're not going to find, if you're not there working already, you're not going to be able to now.
Maybe. Can't ever say never. There's people that I know that never worked it the last time. And
no, I mean at this point, well, maybe.
Yeah, we still have time that you can apply to be a poll worker, because we have to do that. We have to get out in droves and fight fire with fire. I wish that I could stuff the ballot box, but, and you know, I've never thought that I would cheat before. And what I mean by that is I've never gotten a ballot for somebody else, but I know so many people that have gotten ballots for a dead grandma or a neighbor or whatever, and they just throw them away. If you're a conservative, I'm almost now to say, okay, fill it out for your dead grandma.
Well, there was other information that came out over the weekend where Maricopa County. Let me get Maricopa County.
That's hard to say, Maricopa County.
That was so important when it came to the Arizona elections, admitted that they broke the law and improperly certified machines that were failing during their last election. That was the whole basis upon Carrie Lake's lawsuit when she was coming through. That's what makes you go, okay, we hear about things after the fact, and we're just trying to talk about fact, regardless of how people feel. Republican, Democrat, liberal, whatever. You can have your voice, you can say it, but let's look at the facts with all of the things that are going on. That's the stuff that makes me go, as I read it. And it's just like, oh my gosh, the fingernails down the blackboard chill, because once again, it makes us not trust the voting process. It makes us not trust everything that is happening right now in this country.
Mm-hmm. Very true. There's so much stuff going on in this country, but more and more people are waking up. I thought they would have woke up by now, and they haven't. But this whole Joe Biden thing, I really do see more and more people waking up. They're not necessarily saying, oh my gosh, I love Donald Trump, so I'm going to vote for him. But they are saying, we cannot vote for Joe Biden. We cannot vote for the Uniparty. We cannot. I'm seeing it more and more all the time. People are waking up. I mean, we even see stars that are waking up. Even Cardi B had a video. I think it was over the weekend or the weekend before.
It was the weekend before.
Okay, realizing what the heck is going on. I mean, you can't hardly play the video, because if anybody would listen, she just says the F-bomb every other word. Not that I'm offended by that, but it was like you could see her angst. And
well, we know you wouldn't be offended by it.
I'm not offended by it. But I mean, it'd be like, oh my gosh, these people are like, she's seeing the whole picture. It took them a long time to wake up, but they're starting to.
Todd says, just remember, the Democrats did pretty decent as they did. Guess what? In the last election.
Yep.
Last week, 2 weeks ago.
They
did. But they did it with the abortion issue in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did well in the state of Virginia. So once again, those are facts. Whether you want to hear them or not, those are facts. Why did they do well? I don't know. We'll see. But Lizzie, that's why I'm telling you, when I'm in what are considered to be more liberal areas of St. Louis County, I hear people. I see them. I'm just telling you, I'm not hearing.
They still like Joe Biden?
If they like him, whatever. It's still more or less a situation as, if I'm liberal, I'm going to vote liberal. And you damn well know that I hate Trump, and there's no way in hell I would ever put a vote in for him, as we've talked about so many times.
I don't get it. I guess I do not understand that at all. I guess these are people, or the children that you know of your friends' kids. Maybe they are very, quote, privileged, that they have, which I hate that term because I don't believe that, but that they don't understand because inflation hasn't hit them, because mommy and daddy are still buying everything for them, and mommy and daddy aren't being hit by the gas prices. But the average Joe, the 80% here in the middle, we are really hurt by gas prices. We are really hurt. People, the credit card debt is higher than it's ever been because
Lizzie,
people can't pay their bills.
Lizzie, I'm telling you right now, my son's girlfriend and her family have been affected by the economy. They're liberals and they're voting Joe Biden. I'm just telling you.
I would tell my son.
And I continue to tell you this.
Why the hell is that your girlfriend? You're going to have a lifelong of misery, dude.
Well, I'm working on that.
Yeah, I'd be like, she's got to go.
No, but
gotta
Lizzie,
go.
They're great people. They really are.
Oh, come on. They can't be that
They're
great.
great people, and they take care of my son in a manner that it would blow your mind. You'd be like, wow. But once again,
but they're just not very smart.
When you
generous, but not
But
smart.
when you get educated in a liberal form, when that's what you grow up with.
That's true.
I've talked about this before.
The school systems suck these days.
Not even just the school system. I'm telling you what happens with the situation when people get trained in a certain way.
That is true.
Okay, you get comfortable and you're like, this is who I am. Whether it's pride, whether it's something else, whatever the case, those things can happen. This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks. Pro Joe in the house as well, as we continue to make things happen all around the place. I'm also going to say it is interesting because, somebody else says. Anyway, cancel this. It's Monday, November 20th. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house. I was being told something about Kid Rock, how he's back on Bud Light. And I was like, yeah, I know he's back on Bud Light because he's with Joe Rogan and, of course, with the UFC.
Yeah, I get that now. And you and I talked about you can change how you think about something if there's redemption. I do think there's redemption in that situation. So I don't get upset if somebody's drinking a Bud Light now that they switched to how they're sponsoring things. I do.
Well, speaking of sponsoring an advertiser, one of our new advertisers is WeQuip, WeQuipUSA.com. Paige is with us now. She's coming into the show for the first time. Paige, happy Monday, November 20th. Thanks for coming in with us. First of all, how are you today?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. I'm glad we had your mic going. I'm curious, out of the gate, coming here, I was reading up a little bit about you first. Is this your first business?
Yes, this is my first business.
Okay, because here, and it's great. You look youthful, which is awesome.
I love that.
But when I was reading your resume, I was like, and the company you get, I was like, damn, you're way beyond your years. First of all, tell us a little about yourself and WeQuip.
Yeah, so I'm originally from St. Louis. I grew up here. So I went to the University of Dayton for college, and I got
an incredible academic school.
Yes, I agree. So I got my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, stayed there and got my master's in business, met my husband, and after we both graduated, I brought him back here. So we're now St. Louisans again.
Okay, so how long have you had WeQuip?
So WeQuip, we only launched this summer. We've been an LLC for about a year now.
Okay, tell us what WeQuip does, because we've been reminding people, we've been telling people about WeQuip. Oh, it's this really cool person-to-person sales rental experience. Explain the company.
Exactly. So we are a peer-to-peer item rental marketplace. So like Airbnb, but for items is how I like to describe it. So you have the holidays coming up, right? You have family coming over. So maybe you don't have enough chairs, tables for them to sit at, or maybe they're staying over and you're like, I don't have a place for them to sleep. So you can come to WeQuip. We can match you up with people in your area that have the items you need, and then rent them from them. Or maybe you have those items, or you have tools from a home improvement project that you did that sit around and gather dust most of the time. You can rent those out and make some extra cash.
And it could be any tangible items. We're showing some of those on the screen right now. I was going through and I went to the front page, and for example, a white 90-inch round tablecloth set of 6. You can rent those for a week. Why would somebody want to rent those for a week?
So if you're hosting a shower, a wedding shower, a baby shower, a rehearsal dinner, a wedding, whatever it may be, instead of going and buying those items, which is, what my mother-in-law, what my mother did, when I got married, and now they just have them and they sit around and people borrow them, which is great, but maybe you don't have someone to borrow them from.
And then you're connecting people, you're making money, a percentage, I'm assuming, of each sale that takes place through the website?
Yes. So we take 25%. So 75% goes to the owner. So if you rent it out for $100, you make 75, I make 25, and all the fees and everything come out of my end.
Oh,
That's nice. And then you don't take those tablecloths and all that. Like I have a billion sitting in my closet that I don't even know what to do with. So I could put those on WeQuip.
Exactly.
Great idea. I'm going to do it.
giving people an idea, check out the website, and we're showing you some of the things that you can have right now, wequipusa.com. I went on there and I was like, oh, what a great idea, a complete tailgating set.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my, people can go in. For example, I saw that listed for $150 right now, which I think is really, really cool. You've got, cornhole games listed on there, chairs, coolers, tents. I mean, I guess, does it surprise you what people try to rent? And are there any stipulations on what can happen through your website?
So, I mean, the possibilities are basically limitless. I do have to check our terms of service if we can rent you out, Vic. I'm not quite sure about that one.
Yes. Because a lot of people want to rent him out in a Speedo on
a tractor?
Yes. Yes. You know about that. Yeah. On a tractor, mowing their lawn. So, and I'm going to pimp him out for that. So I'm going to get my percent of him.
Yeah. The old show, Pimp My Ride. Yeah. No doubt about it. I thought it was really cool too. Pyramid patio heaters.
Yes.
If I guess that would make sense if you're throwing a party, maybe,
Exactly.
or you have something from that standpoint.
So
you're also in O'Fallon, Missouri,
Yes.
for our local listeners, and we have a lot of people in that area. Please check them out. wequipusa.com. What were you going to say?
So actually those patio heaters came out of a request for outdoor heaters. So I know we're still new. We don't have everything. So if you don't see what you need, let me know. So those we sent out an email to all of our users, and we got those listed within a couple of days for that person that needed them.
One of our listeners said, hey, could you please spell the website and explain it? Because this person says, is the renter supposed to pick up and drop off? What if they damage it?
Yes. So our website is WeQuip USA. So WEQUIP USA.com. So if something happens and the item is damaged, we do have an owner guarantee. So right now our renters are fully liable. We do have a replacement value. So you know how much you're potentially liable for when you rent that item. But if something were to happen and the renter does not fulfill their end of the bargain, we do have an owner guarantee that guarantees each item up to $5,000. In terms of the exchange, we have a chat feature on our website. So you can chat with the owner, between the owner and the renter. And either if the owner will be out and about, they can drop it by, the renter can come pick it up. Or if you're uncomfortable with that, you can always meet in a public location as well.
Another question that we had, is there any sort of insurance that's involved, or would that be up between the two people?
So we don't currently offer renter's insurance, but I will say we are working on a new website, which will have a lot more bells and whistles, and we will offer that optional renter's insurance.
And I want to make sure everybody understands what's happening here, because I'm not sure one person understands. They said, so you must have a huge warehouse. This is actually, when you say peer-to-peer, person-to-person, it's through your website that people are matched up.
Yes. So we do have a couple items just because we wanted to help get ourselves off the ground, but that's not the point of our website. So the point of our website is that all the items are used throughout the country. So we actually are nationwide, even though most of our rentals are here in St. Louis. So no matter where you go, you have what you need from, a neighbor or, someone that could be a neighbor if you're there visiting for vacation or whatever it may be.
Now we're talking with Paige. And how do you properly pronounce your last name?
Measley.
Yeah, Measley. Paige Measley. Her and her husband own wequipusa.com. wequipusa.com. They're an O'Fallon, Missouri-based business. And clearly your website would be for people who live in the general same area, right?
Yes.
But could two people from California connect with one another through your website?
For sure. So we actually do have one listing out in California. So we have a surfboard out there.
Oh,
so
nice.
If you're going to San Diego, go rent your surfboard. And from what I understand, it's $20 for the day, where most places are $20 for an hour.
Yeah.
So
that's a good
our
price.
price points are are typically lower. So, but the pricing is completely up to the owner. So I do want to note that. So we're not telling you how much you should rent your item for. It's completely up to you.
This is great.
No, I do love it. Somebody said it's kind of a Facebook marketplace matchmaker.
Yes.
On steroids.
But we do identity verification, so you don't get those spam messages that you do with Facebook Marketplace.
Nice. And that's good. That's good too. I like
Oh my
that.
gosh, that's so terrific. Once again, Paige Measley. And you grew up in the St. Louis area. What is your backstory? Your husband's not from here, but you
No.
are?
Yes. So I grew up right on Highway K and 40. Went to St. Joe Cotteville for grade school, Coriezu for high
Aw.
school. So I am definitely a St. Louisan. Definitely love my toast
I tried.
ravioli.
No
I
wonder
taught
you're so
years ago at St. Joe's.
no wonder you're so super intelligent. You went to Coriezu. I mean,
And
I've never
St. Joe's.
Yes.
St.
I've
Joe's.
never well, my kids went to St. Joe's, but they're not as intelligent as she is.
Well, this is St. Joe's in Cottleville. Isn't that what you
Yes.
said?
Yeah,
Cottleville.
that's where all three of my kids went.
I did not know
There
that.
we
Lizzie, I've
go.
talked to you about this.
But I thought it was St. Joe's. Never mind. Never
Yes,
mind.
then she went to
Okay.
St. Joe's, and her
Crazy connection.
I love it.
her
Yes.
second choice was Coriezu. Actually, Coriezu was her first choice, but it was just so far away.
Like
Yes,
it.
I understand that.
Yeah.
That was a long drive every day for high
Mhm.
school.
And we were from that same area. What do you think from a business standpoint, starting this out, coming out of Dayton? You had a mechanical engineering degree, and then I think did you say you had an MBA in business as well?
Yes.
I mean, that's a lot of education. That's super tough education that you went through. Was your MBA at Dayton as well?
Yes. So they had a bachelor's plus master's program. So I was able to stay there and get it done in 2 years for a reduced price point, which was very helpful.
As a younger person who's coming out, you're not even technically a millennial, are you?
I don't think so.
No.
I think I'm technically Gen Z.
You're Gen Z.
Yeah.
You're
Not your typical Gen Z.
You're the hope that we have. You're our future, Gen Z. That gets
Love
me
it.
excited.
Me
and not
too.
to get, and obviously not to get you into political talks, because that's not why you're here. But from a business standpoint, when you look at let's say from where you went in to college and where you are now, what are you seeing from a business standpoint right now? When you look at the economy, when you look at people's spending patterns, and you look at having hope for a business that you and your husband just began?
Well, I mean, going from starting out college, I thought I'd go into a manufacturing job and I thought I'd be in a factory. And I've spent much time in factories and I enjoy it, but it's definitely changed. And I don't think, 10 years ago, I feel like home ownership and things like that were a lot more attainable.
Mhm.
Luckily, me and my husband are building a home. We are very fortunate to be able to afford that. but
Congratulations.
thank you.
That's awesome. Good
But
for you.
it's a townhome because that's all we can afford. So having another option, so like the gig economy, I know is huge and it's been blowing up, whether it's Uber, Airbnb, Grubhub, whatever. So we're basically doing that same thing. We're allowing other people to make money off the things they already have and have another source of income. So whether it is for an emergency savings fund, a date night, a vacation, help put kids through college, whatever it may be, I feel like we are that option.
Do you have children yet?
Not yet.
And are you guys even 25 yet? 26?
I'm 25. My husband's 26.
Okay, because you're in that age group, and the reason I ask that, it's so because you're building a home, and it's like, my God, you're starting a business. It's not easy. It sounds like the old American dream, but you realize that you are in the minority of people that are your age that are doing that, right?
For sure. So I'm very fortunate because my husband he helps me with WeQuit for sure, but he has another full-time job, and that's the only reason we can do what we do.
What are other people your age doing right now when it comes to the economy, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to trying to build for a future, when there's so many questions about our economy right now? And I'll say it, our economy has tanked in the last 3 years, and we have inflation. While some reports show that inflation is getting better, we're still dealing with a lot of inflation just going a grocery store trip. What are other people at your age? What kind of things are you hearing when it comes to our country?
I mean, I have one friend that's in medical school right now, and he barely has enough loans coming in to live, and he has to ask his parents for extra money. And he lives in an apartment. It's not the nicest apartment. It's fine, but he's been there for the last couple of years, and all of his money is just going straight back to the government, and he hardly has anything. I have other friends, that are living at home because they don't make enough on their income to afford their own rent. And then I have other friends that lived with their parents for several years, and then we're finally able to buy a home. So a lot of apartments, which are not good for building wealth.
Correct. That is very true. And you see all these apartments going up everywhere, and that's where our youth is living. And it's harder to buy a house once you start that.
Oh, yeah, because you just funnel your money into there, and sometimes that's as much as a house payment.
Correct.
Oh, yeah,
insane.
it is.
For sure.
My God. Okay, because we're talking with Paige Measley. Do you credit your parents for raising you in a way or pushing you into a situation of belief in work and responsibility that aided you at Dayton and now in your businesses?
Oh, completely. So my parents, I grew up with a family business. So they own a manufacturing company, and my dad actually lost his job because of that, because of the company he was at, and then went and bought one of the locations with his business partner. So my mom pushing him to go do that, and I'm definitely only where I am today because they took that risk. And if something bad would have happened, I would have been living with my grandparents, with my whole family, because my parents would have lost their house. So I know the value of hard work. I've spent many summers in the factory doing quality, answering phones, whatever needed to be done. And they're definitely my biggest cheerleaders for sure.
That's beautiful. And that's what it is parents have to be so intentional. I see a lot of people having children, but they don't know how to parent and they do it kind of willy-nilly. But if a parent is intentional in their parenting, their child will be fine. They'll be better than fine.
Yes.
Even in this crazy world we live in, you just got to speak truth to your kids and they'll still be okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, Donna has a question for you.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the idea of WeQuip? Because it is a pretty cool idea.
It really is.
And I was going to ask you this question. So Donna, thank you for asking.
Yeah, so in my second to last semester of getting my MBA, before we jumped into our big semester-long project, we were given a quick brainstorming assignment. So we were supposed to write a 2-page paper on the next big idea for an existing company. So I said Airbnb should rent out items, because my family would go on vacation, rent a house by the beach, and then they'd go, okay, let's go rent beach chairs, beach umbrellas, bicycles, a golf cart. Some houses where we go don't have linens. You have to go rent linens. And by the time you have everything, you've gone to 5 different places. And I was like, that's stupid. Why isn't there just one place that you can go and take care of all of it? And then I was like, well, why just vacation items? My brother-in-law is active duty Air Force. And so he had bought a house and the kitchen needed to be gutted. Luckily, he was stationed where his family is. But if he wasn't, he wouldn't have had the money to go buy all those tools. He wouldn't have known the people to go borrow them from. So I was like, why not have home improvement? And then at that point, it's like, why not just have everything? So whether you're throwing a party, a backyard barbecue, a wedding, you need decorations, home improvement, vacation, whatever it may be. We have those existing rental companies, but they don't necessarily have everything you need or at a price point you can really afford.
Yeah, that's such a great idea. And that's so true. When you go on vacation, often these Airbnbs or hotels, you stay in a hotel, they don't have all of this. But if you have WeQuip and you can go on there and find it, it's very affordable. And if you already have the stuff in your own house, why not rent it out? It's a win-win.
Well, before we let you go today, Paige, what are some of the items that you saw pop on that people were trying to rent that may have shocked you, or you went, oh my God, that's so funny? If you're looking through, it's like, I never thought that people would be trying to rent this item or that item.
I guess the one item that gets brought up the most, there is a pair of scissors that are listed on there.
A pair of scissors.
A pair of scissors. I do have to say that was one of my friends. I asked my friends to list something, and you know what? She did. I don't think it'll ever get rented, but you know what?
But
she put it up there. There's nothing against it, so go her.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I love it.
They must be some really cool scissors. Another item that I want to ask about, what do you see? What is the most commonly group of items that you see people trying to rent maybe?
So we're definitely really new, so I don't have any big trends yet, but probably folding tables. We had some rented this past weekend, for an event or Thanksgiving or Christmas, whatever coming up. You have family coming over, you're like, oh, they're going to sit at all the countertops. Where am I going to put the food? Or maybe you just want to make a big long table for everyone to sit together. Yes, there are the scissors.
Yeah.
Yes, there's the scissors. And Paige, I think that is great about the tables. I know growing up, my grandma used to always say, when you get married, you need to have folding tables. So when we got married, we were given some. And since then, so my husband and I have a lot, and they're never at my house. One of my kids is always borrowing these tables. And then I had to borrow them back to have Thanksgiving. So that is a great thing, is folding tables.
Especially if you live in an apartment or something.
Yeah.
You don't have the space to store those all the time, but you need it when you need it.
Correct.
So
yeah, that's good.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Anything else that you wanted to bring up about WeQuip, something that we may not have covered, just to make sure? We wanted to let everybody know, especially throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area or any other place where there's multiple people. Check out WeQuip, wequipusa.com. Once again, wequipusa.com. Paige's company, along with her husband. Not only are they in the area, not only is she a St. Louisan, but she has also jumped in and been a supporter here at canceltheshow.com with a lot of the group that we have here. So we'd obviously love to make her business successful and look at it. It could also help you as well. WeQuip, literally, we rent nearly anything. Anything else that we haven't covered that you think is important to bring up?
I just want to note that we are working on a new website. So be gracious when you're on our current one. It works, but it's not the prettiest. So we're working on all those extra bells and whistles. And yes, so we are nationwide. If you need anything, please let me know, and I will work with our users to get that item for you.
Oh, well, fantastic,
Love
Paige.
it.
Thanks for taking time to come and join us today.
No, thank you so much. Oh, our Cancel This promo. So if you let us know that you're with Cancel This, email, phone number, texting, call, whatever it may be, with your first rental, we get you some very own WeQuip swag. Whether
love
it be
it.
your sweatshirt, t-shirt,
Yeah.
hat. If you have another special request, we can probably make it work. So we'll get that item to you. And as a special thank you for listening to Cancel This.
Yes, and your sweatshirt is great. So I'm
Thank
sure your
you.
merch
I'm
is
so
wonderful.
short.
Lizzie, does
There
she
you go.
remind you of a young Lizzie?
You kind of do.
Oh,
You're,
thanks.
you know, I mean, I opened my first business at 25
Wow.
and owned it for 26 years.
That's
And it put
amazing.
our kids through school. It did
Mhm.
quite well. And I loved it.
That's what I'm hoping WeQuip
Yeah.
is for us.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you ever think that you want to start a business and you want to start a business, this sounds contradictory to a lot of what I say. If it's a bad economy, this is when you start your business. And if you can take
for
the
sure.
leap, then you will soar. And I started it in the Clinton eras, not to get political on you about that, but the economy was kind of yucky.
Mhm.
And we started it when businesses were going under. We had it for 26 years. So
Yeah.
you are a badass. I love it.
I
Michelle
appreciate it.
says, Michelle says, thank you. Todd says, good luck.
Mhm.
Paul says, good luck. Ginny says, I'm going to post your website on my Nextdoor app.
Thank you so much.
Matthew says, Paige is a great guest.
Yes, she is.
Ginny says, there are many posts from people needing to borrow a ladder, screwdriver.
Yes,
you
a
name it.
ladder.
For sure.
Whatever those sorts of things are. By the way, if we have you back on it, would you ever talk current state of politics?
Possibly. We'll have to discuss that.
Okay. That's
Okay.
what I said. All right. I like that answer
I do
because I
too.
would never
And I'll
bring
bring you guys some WeQuip swag next time.
I would love it.
Okay,
And I will
that's-
be happy to wear it.
It sounds good. Paige, thank you so much.
Thank
Good luck to you
you.
and your husband. And special congrats to your parents for raising.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts
Your
with
parents did quite well
I
raising
think
you.
so too. I think so
Yes.
too.
All right, Paige, have a great day. Thanks for
Thanks.
coming on and joining us today. This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo in the house. What a fun interview. She's really good at
Yeah.
peppy, smart,
And pretty.
and confident. That's
Good voice.
WeQuip USA. Once again, WeQuipUSA.com. WeQuipUSA.com. Check it out. I was having fun. I just got caught up in it. And the first thing that came in mind
Yeah.
was like, gosh, all the things that I have. What can I rent? What can I
Me
rent?
too. It's going through my head. I have a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to put on there. My tables, for one. I mean, I've got tablecloths. I mean, just so much stuff that I'm like, what am I going to do with all this?
I know. I was looking at too. Todd says, damn, I wish I was 25, a mechanical engineering degree, an MBA, a new business, entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and building a townhouse.
Right. She's got that. She is the American dream. So as bad as our country has become, you can make, lemonade out of lemons. And I've told that to my children. Both of my millennial children own homes too. And so it was something that I told them all during the pandemic, that when everyone else is afraid and things are going bad, this is your time to soar. Don't sit in a closet. Don't be afraid. Go get it now, because that's when people don't.
Well,
They
Paul says, Vic, for what it's worth, you seem to be in a better mood. Yeah, I was in a better mood when I see people who are motivating like that. And by the way, it was a Monday. I'm trying to get back into this stuff.
I know.
There's a lot of
Mondays are
crap
hard.
that happened over the weekend. And we
Yes.
try to keep things that are going on. It's not easy to run a business, that's for sure.
No, it isn't. And Sarah's saying she's thinking of all the money that she can make from her rentals. You can. It's great. And it would be great because somebody like her that is local to our show and who is young. I love to promote people that are very young, just starting out in a business. And the same thing with the show here. We're not as young as she is, but it's like you got to support the people who are telling the truth. You've got to, because we've talked about this before, that people don't do that. So we need to promote our youth, and we need to, she is really something else. So not only is her business something else, she's promoting a show that's being honest. And that's kind of brave to do when you're 25, actually. She's probably our bravest supporter, being her age and doing
It's
what
the
she's
best.
doing.
No, it's the best time.
It is 100% the
It's
best
far
time.
better than being 49 and doing it. Or
Isn't that the truth? I say that often. If you're going to own a business, do it when you're young. And if you fail, no biggie, just go and do another one. My husband and I failed so many businesses when we were in our 20s. And the one that stuck, we owned it for 26 years. So don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid. Just go out
yeah,
and
I'm
do
checking
it.
out the week whips.
It's awesome.
I know.
It's awesome.
I'm like,
It's addicting when you get on
it
there.
It is addicting.
Yes. I'm going to have to put a whole bunch of stuff on there. I got stuff.
Projector screen, folding chairs, air mattresses. People are trying. Yeah, you can check that out later too.
Think about air mattresses. They're not cheap anymore. And if you could just run at a fraction of the cost and then not have to store it and put it back, and then you support somebody like Paige, that's a win-win.
Yeah.
Win-win.
A Fender Telecaster, baby.
A what?
Yeah, I saw a couple of guitars.
A guitar.
On there.
Oh, okay. Love all that. Just think about it. And we have some really great listeners that probably have some really great stuff that maybe the Gen Zs or whoever can't afford them, but they could rent them. I love it.
Make some extra dough.
Yeah, make some extra dough. I can't wait to go home and
Joe, do we have some stuff in the closet we can rent out?
Oh, we do have a whole bunch of stuff in the closet.
I was like,
we don't want to put the trash that he put in the closet on there, but we have actually equipment we don't even use, Vic. We could rent that out.
I know we do.
I wanted to make a dumb joke and say, I think Eric's in the closet.
Eric's in the closet. Hey, maybe we can rent out Eric too. Hey, we could rent out Eric. Let's rent out Eric playing the bass for people.
In his wig.
On his pontoon boat. That's what we're going to do. So if you want to rent Eric, you can get Eric too.
This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks. Pro Joe in the house as well. Just talked with Paige Measley, a St. Louis, and her company is WeQuip USA. Check it out. And if anything, I mean, motivation for yourself to do something as well.
Absolutely.
If you have the idea to try to do something on the side as well. We're here Monday through Friday, of course, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. When we speak of show sponsors, which WeQuip is, we thank Winty's Bar and Grill in the Chesterfield Valley. Great food, the pizza, the wings, the barbecue, you name it, the flat tire, it's all there. They have a big party for Thanksgiving Eve, Wednesday night, Thanksgiving.
We got a picture about that too.
That'll be there. I don't know if we'll get to it right now in time or not. It'll have to be a little bit later. We can pop that up before the show ends. Also,
there it is. It's Skanksgiving on
That's
Wednesday.
Right.
So if you want to go be a skank or see some skanks and have some fun on Skanksgiving, go to Wenty's on Wednesday.
Also, complete auto body repair, 7 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Anything when it comes to taking care of your car, A to Z. They're also always looking for employees. Let us know and let them know at cancelthisshow.com. You can go to their website, completeab.com. Let Sandy Travis know. She's in charge of HR that you heard about them on Cancel This. They'll take special care of you. Experienced Realty Partners, Kathy Helbig Strick, Steve Strick. No worst time to be dealing with real estate. It's the worst time to be dealing with it by yourself. You need direction. Give Kathy and her team a call, 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD. And if it drives you crazy, well, you can get some weed. You can get some from Route 66, some cannabis. It'll help you out. Right, Joe? Of course it would. Ham and crew come in on Wednesdays for our Weed Wednesday segment to show you how cannabis can help your life, if anything, to help get you off pharma. If you're stuck in a medical situation, you don't want to be popping those pills. We know that. You want to be dealing with something that's more natural. If you have problems with sleep, if you have problems with pain, these are or if you just want to have some fun, those are the types of things where Route 66 can come in. 5 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. The newest store is at 270 and Manchester. Of course, you can check out their website at route66cannabis.com, root ROOT, route66cannabis.com. They will take care of you, make sure that you're educated on everything that you could possibly be taken care of from that standpoint. Also, Solar City STL. When it comes to renewable energy, you can make a part of your life. It really makes a whole lot of sense if you're using enough energy. Justin Talavest and crew taking care of you. You can go in, you can give them, you can go to our website at cancelthisshow.com, go to our partners page, and you'll click on Solar City STL. You can get a quote. You can talk to them, let them know you heard about them on canceltheshow.com. They're going to give you a discount. Those discounts are massive. Let them know you heard them on canceltheshow.com. And of course, as always, Strategic Air Services, premier private transportation, providing all things aviation from aircraft management to concierge services and acquisitions. And that's where we broadcast live now, here out of Strategic Air Services in the Chesterfield Valley in St. Louis,
Do you
Missouri.
think Kevin will put one of his planes on WeQuip and we can rent it out pretty cheap?
What
do you think?
I don't know.
I don't know. Wouldn't that be fun? Projo and I would like that. We could run it and we could go somewhere.
Yes, you guys could. That would be great.
Wouldn't that be fun, Projo?
Where's Dave's credit card?
Yeah. Well,
Dave, your husband's credit card.
Go. Let's go.
We'll take that and take care of everything.
Siesta key.
Yeah. Guys, we appreciate you joining us here. CancelThisShow.com. Okay. The Sound of Freedom was a super successful movie, as we know, with Jim Caviezel bringing light to child sex trafficking, which is a massively horrible thing that's happening in this country and in this world. And the United States is at the forefront of a lot of it, unfortunately. Well, when that movie was produced, it was produced by, I believe it's Angel Studios, and they're an anti-woke group that is trying to do everything they can to promote anti-woke movies, different movies than what Hollywood has done, because we always saw what Hollywood has done. Hollywood went away for the longest time for making what would be considered to be wholesome movies now compared to what they're putting out there right now. Well, there's a new movie coming out. It's called The Shift. And it's a drama sci-fi thriller where one man is faced with infinite worlds and impossible choices when Kevin Garner meets a nefarious adversary known as the Benefactor and refuses his offer of wealth and power. He must escape an alternative totalitarian reality. With survival on the line, Kevin fights to make it back to the world he knows and the woman that he loves. Now, once again, this is an anti-woke movie. We're going to show you a little bit of the trailer from this. And it's Angel Studios who produced the movie Sound of Freedom. So you're going to start to see more of these because the Sound of Freedom was a super successful hit. It made a lot of money. And that's exactly what it's about. There are people around this country who are tired of the crap that Hollywood has produced. And now you have new movies that are coming out like this one. So we wanted to show this trailer.
Definitely a movie to pay attention to.
For sure.
I've seen a bunch of people like us out there looking for a little hope. You're still trying to find that wife of yours. You're clinging to scraps of rumors. I'll find my mom. I don't think the Benefactor's gonna shift you back to your wife because you asked nice.
I won't ask nicely. I will find a way.
What do you want from me? Work for me and get back with the woman that you love.
What if the bad thing tears us apart? Does that sound like something either one of us wants to endure? No.
That looks really good.
Coming out December 1st. You can get tickets now. You can go to the website, www.angel.com. I really like Neil McDonough. He's the actor, the guy that has white hair, really short, old blonde. He's a great villain, which is ironic because in real life,
isn't he really nice?
He kind of got blackballed in Hollywood a little because he refused to do any sort of sex scene with a woman or even kiss other women out of respect to his own wife.
Oh, I love that.
Doing this movie, I'm sure he's going to be blackballed in Hollywood too.
He's already kind of
blackballed.
Yeah.
And then he'll be even more blackballed that way. But I like that he doesn't want to kiss another woman.
Yeah, and he's very outspoken about his faith. He's very outspoken about his values. He's very outspoken about his politics. And that's Neil McDonough. He's in the, I mean, all the actors, and these aren't B-list actors. I mean, he's a very popular actor. Sean Astin is Gabriel in the movie. Elizabeth Tabish.
He was on the Goonies.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, he was also more popular than the Goonies were popular then, but the
recent show.
Oh, the mythical. Oh my God, I feel embarrassed. Our
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was also on. There was a show, Stranger Things.
And Christopher Polaha. I mean, a lot of good actors. December 1st release date, and I just find it interesting because we've talked about that on Cancel This. You've got an entire movie company
Love that movie company.
that they were getting canceled. Remember, Sound of Freedom was passed over by all the big movie, but they didn't want to touch it, and you know why they didn't want to touch it because of the subject matter and because of who it involved in Hollywood. And then you have Angel Studios canceled, basically coming doing their own thing and now having super success because they're not going to be forced by Hollywood to say, well, you got to do this or you got to do that, and you can't be doing those movies or we're going to strike back at you. You know, those are going to make people feel uncomfortable. No, they're doing it and they're having success at it. And that's why we wanted to promote the movie The Shift coming up December 1st. Did you hear about this before, Joe? I was just curious because you spoke pretty passionately about that movie.
No, I just Angel Studios is definitely a studio to watch, and anything that comes out of there is definitely going to be what is it? It's going to start out science fiction and turn science fact. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Greg reminds us that he says beat Indiana Jones box office with half the theaters. You were talking about Sound of Freedom. That was in the opening weekend for sure. And it may have even been the entire gross of what they did from that standpoint. Megan says, The Chosen, best series ever done by Angel Studios as well.
Exactly. So good. Such good stuff. Such good stuff. And the theaters were packed. So
Michelle says, Marie, I've only seen a couple episodes, but yes, I love it as well. So go do your thing, Angel Studios. I mean, you can't be worried about being canceled. It's funny because I was having a conversation and maybe there'll be a time to talk about this as well at some point. But there are, for example, there is a running back for the University of Missouri for football. And you don't even have to be a football fan to appreciate this, but he is now leading the SEC. He's going to be an All-American running back. And 2 years ago, he was at Truman State, a Division II football school. Well, what happened? Well, nobody would give him a scholarship coming out of St. Louis. And everybody's like, well, why wouldn't they do it? Why wouldn't they do it? And then all of a sudden he comes to Mizzou and he's amazing. And I was like, well, how could he not have gotten a scholarship? Well, it took a black man, his name's Carl Reed out of the St. Louis area, who does a national recruiting show, to say if he was white, he would have been offered scholarships, but people were afraid to give him scholarships because he was white, as if you're white, you can't do the job. The reason I bring this story up is this was a black man, not afraid to say it, not afraid of being canceled, but other people have been too afraid to say things because they thought they would be, quote, canceled, which is why you had this super athlete, super guy who has transformed Missouri football this season. And like, why didn't this guy get a scholarship? Well, it was because he was white. So the case in point of that, you can't be afraid to be canceled by speaking things that are truth. Angel Studios couldn't be afraid to do a movie on Sound of Freedom just because Hollywood wouldn't take it. They were able to go do it themselves, get super success. And then what do you know? There's a market for it. People like that. And now they're moving forward. Just makes me feel good, especially on a Monday, as we talk about
that is
to have positive stories like that.
Love positive stories.
Interesting. Glenn says, yeah. And Cody Schrader is his name. Won't get a Heisman invite because he is white as well. So it's very interesting. And Paul says Mizzou only gets him for a year. Damn shame. Well, they had him for 2 years. They had him last year when he was starting to get used to what was going on. And then he came to this year. Todd says, I'm going to Arkansas on Friday. I'll get you a Miller Lite. Sure thing, Todd. But I'm fine drinking Bud Light.
I am too. And a lot of people are shocked. They're like, oh, but you're just so conservative. You and I have talked about, we believe in redemption.
Yes.
What they did was absolutely asinine.
And they fired the staff, by the way. They just didn't want it to be a public deal.
Correct. They fired them. All of the people that were involved in there doesn't work there anymore. They've redeemed themselves in their new marketing campaign with Dana White and the Worldwide Wrestling Federation and all that. And they're employees. It's not just the corporations. We have so many people that live in St. Louis that work for Anheuser-Busch, and were affected by that, and people lost their jobs. So they made it right. We all wish they would have said they were sorry, but sometimes saying I'm sorry doesn't mean anything if the actions don't follow. They didn't say they were sorry, but they did fire people. So I'm okay with Bud Light now.
In a
I am
side
okay.
story, Jay says the beer is still awful.
Well, I'm not saying I love
And of
Bud
course,
Light to drink it either.
Derek
but
Pratt, our resident fill-in anchor, who does a great job and is
He
awesome
does.
with you, is still living his youth years drinking Busch Light
Yeah.
because kids drink Busch Light. And
He's just a
Derek.
kid. Derek's
So
just a
Derek
big kid.
and kids drink Busch Light. So,
Uh-huh.
or Derek drinks the beer that the kids drink.
Right, because he's got such a youthful soul.
Of course he does.
Yes, he's awesome. Oh gosh! And if you don't like it because it tastes like somebody's saying it tastes like butt wipe, okay, then
Oh
don't
my
drink
God.
it. Then don't drink it. But if you liked it before and you wanted to drink it and you wanted to support the St. Louis metropolitan area, go ahead and go back to drinking it now. You have, but before I wouldn't have. I mean, I was one of those that kind of had it canceled, and I don't even drink Bud Light, but I always have alcohol in my house, and I stopped buying it.
That's right. You have the beer fridge.
I
And we
have the
showed
beer
it.
fridge. Yep, I have
And
the beer
something
fridge.
tells me the beer fridge is still stocked with Bud Light.
Well, it wasn't at all before. Like we had it, we didn't buy any, but now we'll put Bud Light in there.
And Michelle says, by the way, Busch Light sales have skyrocketed.
They have.
I'm sure they have, especially when people didn't want to drink Bud Light.
Correct.
You need another light beer.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Derek says the kids are drinking my beer. Back when I was in college, we drank Natty Light. Yeah, of course.
There you go. So the kids are drinking his beer.
Aaron says men graduate from beer and drink bourbon. We'll welcome you at some point, Derek.
In the bourbon club.
Yeah, when you become a man like Aaron and I, we'll welcome you in.
There you go, Derek.
And when you guys graduate to marijuana,
then Rojo will be the one to introduce you to that or invite you into his club. He's got the marijuana Projo club.
I did like that. No, I do. Exactly. And that's what we do. That's why we have our Weed Wednesday segments to educate people from that standpoint of all those things that are going on. Hey, Projo, when you get a chance, I sent you so much. I'm trying to remember everything else that I sent you. If there was stuff that was
we've got
good. What else did we have that I sent in there? I can't even.
Something about a Celine Dion concert.
I can go ahead and check it out too. While I have
broken up by a Texas state trooper.
You know what? Here, you know what I was wanting to show, which and I didn't. I don't see the. Okay.
Here's one.
Can we show Donald Trump's rally?
Yep.
Oh, please do.
And the reason
if that doesn't make you in a good mood on a Monday, Vic, nothing will.
Well, here's what it is. The reason I love this, but I was trying to find where exactly it was from. And I think it was from Friday, but I didn't know when he was at the border. So I never want to show something
right, if
I don't know exactly where it was. But I do think this was in the last 3 days. And the reason that I wanted to show it is, do you see this kind of passion anywhere with any other candidate?
Never in our history of our lifetime.
I don't see passion like this, as we'll show you right now.
Thank you very much. This is really what our country's all about. We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back from hell because right now we're in hell.
Oh, yeah. And Michelle goes, hell yeah. If that doesn't do your heart good, if you are a true American citizen, I don't know what else would. Who cares if he mean tweets? Who cares?
You can not like the candidate, but you've got to be able to appreciate the passion for America.
Exactly.
And it is unadulterated, honest passion.
It is.
Not fake passion. It is legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what gets me excited for USA.
Me
and
too.
I think that also is what separates the candidates. Republican, Democrat, whatever, that is a passionate base. And people that don't like that will try to rip the Trump crowd when they hear that. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The passion that is there from that standpoint. Hey, speaking of passion, man, Argentina.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Well, we'll get to what you got, Joe. Are you talking, bud?
Yeah, I had never mind.
Oh, good. Can you show us? Can we show the picture of Javier Milei? Javier Milei is the new elected president of Argentina. Now, keep in mind that is the man right there. That
Don't you love it?
He looks like an actor with those.
He looks like a cross between like Chris Farley and somebody off of
Chris Farley.
Quentin Tarantino.
We're showing a picture
Elvis
of
Presley ear.
Javier Milei, who is the new president of Argentina for our podcast listeners. This guy, he makes Donald Trump look like a librarian choir boy.
For sure.
He was a former soccer player, very loud, known for his debates. Not a fan of him in all of his screaming and calling people names, but my God, when you get pushed into corners sometimes, being kind and nice and sweet,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore.
Even though I will always push for that first. This guy is supposed to be Luke Trump. He is an actor. That coming from Jeannie. However, if this guy is an actor, and the reason we bring it up, he does look like Elvis.
He does. I think he does.
Robin
he looks
Williams,
like the heavyset Elvis.
Kurt Russell without a mustache.
Yes.
Lots of opinions coming in. He just won the presidency of Argentina, which was headed in a very bad direction from a socialistic standpoint.
Very socialist.
Marxist, communist.
Yes.
And this guy is flamboyant. He's Donald Trump on steroids.
Yeah, he is. And you know what? He won by 12%.
Johnny Cash, another great one.
Beautiful. 56 to 44% against the left winger because he's the right winger, and then they had
he's listed as a right-wing libertarian, not a Republican, but a libertarian.
Exactly, just a right winger. Well, and Trump really is,
and he
a
dominated. But the opposite side of him, was the hardcore socialist agenda, which we are starting to see in the United States of America. Which is why we show you this. Which is why we find it so freaking interesting,
fascinating
that this guy has now won against what they had in Argentina, and I'm curious if they thought he had any shot to win, and he pulled a 2016 Donald Trump in the United States.
I don't think they believed he would win at all. And then he win. And that just gives me such hope again for America. Oh, yes. It gives me, they were even more socialist than we are here.
Do they have voting? Do they have mail-in balloting in Argentina?
I don't know if they have mail-in, but you know,
that's the only
thing that kills my hope. Election and you look at all the history and all that, they had the most corrupt elections, but they didn't think this guy was going to win. He's flamboyant. He looks like a heavyset Elvis Presley, and he won by 12%.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
I wonder why we had a listener say that this guy is an actor.
Well,
I wonder if it has anything to do because of his popularity, because of the way that he talks.
Could be.
He is a character too. He is yelling. He'll have outbursts.
Yeah.
Call people names. He's not respectful, but he's about true democracy.
He is about true democracy.
He's about having your First Amendment rights. He's about not having government and socialism ideas govern everything that you have. Craig says that guy from the 70s show. Yep. I could see it there. Jeannie said what it was I heard he was an actor. Maybe he was an actor at one point in time. I didn't see that. I just knew that he was a former soccer player, and he made his name in debates.
Yeah.
By doing things, by saying things that other people would not do, by bringing attention to certain things that nobody else would do. Yeah, I could see how there would be hope for the United States.
I absolutely think
and
there's
here's
hope for
why
the United States.
Because this is what's happening in Argentina, and we get so caught up in what's happening in America.
Yes.
We showed you videos last week of what was happening in Poland and Spain. Look at this video from Spain yesterday. They're still dealing with a lot of bullshit when it comes to the socialist agenda in Spain as well. Look at the hundreds of thousands of people. Look at that scene.
It's a worldwide problem, and people are rising up. America did it first with Donald Trump, and then we got hoodwinked again in the next election. The rest of the country sees what's going on. They see what happened to America. We are the beacon and the hope for the rest of the world, and our elections, in my opinion, were stolen. People know it. People know it everywhere. So look at all of the
and as we continue to show that was just under 300,000 people.
That's
that were
beautiful.
Estimated right there. And they marched through Madrid because they were protesting against the socialist prime minister Sanchez, who I'm just telling you, a lot of what he says sounds a lot of what the Biden administration is trying to push in the United States.
Yeah.
What the socialist agenda in Argentina was trying to push back on. When have we seen such crowds at the same time all across the world marching? It gets me excited, but it also scares me that you have an opposite side that is trying to push so hard
Yes.
on socialism,
Well, and it's
communism,
all across the
Marxism,
world. Uh-huh.
big government,
Yes.
government across the world,
Mhm.
World Economic Forum-esque stuff.
Yes. It's the whole world order. And like Jeannie's saying, we need to do this. And we do need to do this. Don't go up there at DC. Don't do it in the Capitol. Who cares? Because you don't want to get
Oh yeah, don't go
put in the gulag. So don't go to the
Please,
Capitol.
don't go in capitals anymore. Nobody.
But
Nobody go in capitals.
But
There's
just
a big piece of cheese sitting on the mousetrap. Do not eat the cheese.
Correct. And I don't think by doing that is wrong. Those are our houses. The capitals are our houses. We should be allowed to do that. However, they're not going to allow us to do that. But we do need to go out. We need to be that loud. We need to take our country back, and we can. We absolutely can.
And
because if Argentina could do it, I was starting to lose hope a little
But they
bit.
haven't changed anything yet. And here, it's great to see the protests, but here's what happened to break down the entire situation. Sanchez secured a deal that allowed him another 4-year term in office. That was the problem. He offered amnesty to separatists in exchange for their backing so he could remain in power. So that was another sect of people. And the protesters were seen with signs that read Sanchez traitor, don't sell Spain. And they're saying, let it be a lesson. Never elect a socialist.
Never.
Because the backdoor deals will be made. So you had
Yes.
170,000 people that came out just in Madrid
Mhm.
for that rally on what happened.
Yeah.
And you see them packing in. And of course, we saw what happened on January 6th too. Weren't there an estimated 1 million people that
Yes,
showed up?
there was definitely 1 million people plus.
What's going to
that were
happen in
there.
our country as we move forward?
We have to
You know, we
rise
have elections
up.
that are coming up in 2024. Allegedly,
do.
the elections will still be happening. I know we get all kinds of conspiracy theories and people talking about things.
Right. They're saying if we're in war, that essentially they wouldn't remove Biden then. And you know what? That sounds ludicrous, but that could happen. I didn't think half the things that happened in America over the last 3 years could happen. So that could happen.
What are the conspiracy theories now that Jimmy Carter's wife passed away?
Yeah. You know, a lot
Did you
of
hear
people
these?
are-
I mean,
yeah,
we debunk a lot of things here, but we
Mhm.
also talk about them just to make sure. I started to hear, now the shit's going to hit the fan because
hearing
Jimmy
that
Carter's.
too.
But hasn't it already hit the fan?
Right.
I mean, what else could happen? We talk about all these things here on the show every day. You guys tell us all kinds of things. What else could freaking happen?
Well, and they're saying, oh, the shit's going to hit the fan now because now all of the news is going to come out and they can't contain it. Both on both sides. I'm hearing it by the left and the right because of her death. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. She is so insignificant. I mean, I hear she was a nice lady. Her husband was a buffoon president, but I heard she was nice. Nothing is going to happen, left or right, good or bad, because she died. That's not going to happen.
I know. I just
It's not. I wish I could say, yes, shit's going to come out now. And there's a lot of people that believe a lot of these deep rooted, go down the tunnel kind of things. And I want to believe that. But I mean, they're going down the tunnels. And then when they bring up the crap out of the tunnels, nothing happens that they say they're going to happen.
I was ready to go to a Marine fight. You see Marines beating the shit out of guys that are bad people.
Did you see that?
And we'll
That
go to it in a
was
second. But
great.
Glenn's like,
That
everybody.
was great.
Glenn says, guys, you missed the boat. He's like, we should be talking about how Swift and Kelsey's parents are meeting at the Super Bowl rematch tonight.
Why did we not talk about that? We should have been talking about
this
that.
is the proper time at the end of the show.
At the end of the show. Because what happens is a lot of our listeners do not care.
Philadelphia and Kansas City are playing in the Monday Night Football game tonight. So it'll be the Kelsey brothers in a rematch of the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if Taylor Swift can be there because she's got her concert going on.
I think if it's the Super Bowl, she needs to postpone it by a day. I just think
No, the Super Bowl. No, tonight, though. I don't think she can be there.
Oh, I don't know about
I did see that a Philadelphia radio station, a pop station, canceled her songs for the week.
Oh, really?
Since it was Kansas City Chief Hate Week.
Oh, well, okay,
since
then
the Chiefs,
that makes sense.
Since the Chiefs beat the Eagles last week.
You know what people hate about that whole relationship? Doesn't have anything to do with her. It's his outfits. He dressed like a pimp. Have you ever seen his clothing?
I couldn't wear it.
I mean, he really does. You talk about pimping somebody out. He looks, I don't know. He has no class.
Matthew says the Chiefs are my team, but I can't take much more of this Swiftie shit.
I know, right? That's why we don't talk about it much, because most people could care less unless millennials and Gen Zs think it's the cutest thing they ever saw. And I don't hate her. I just don't like her politics. I just don't care. My kids will even play her music all the time, and I don't really like it. I just don't.
Hey, can we show the Marine fight before we get out of here?
Oh, gotta
today,
watch
Joe?
the Maroon fight.
I mean, I didn't think it was all. I mean, it's just like, Marines are at a club. I mean, we know if you're at a bar, if you're clubs, I've seen it millions of times. Alcohol gets involved,
Some of them
liquid
fought
courage,
weak.
people get in fights, and was going down. I mean,
Yeah, we do.
I mean, okay, so the guy, I guess, I don't know, the guy with the afro took the first swing of the Marine. Marines are nobody, they're just talking. Nobody swung back at the guy. They're just talking right now. But then you have this guy. Okay, now you have that guy Malvin with his afro. And then they're all together. Now he's trying to pop him. So then, boom, the Marine lays him down, embarrasses him, and popped him with a couple punches. It looks like something from a movie where Marines are they're actually dressed. It looked like in celebration gear.
I thought it was a fake thing at first, but apparently this was real.
The police were all over the place. When goes the Marine?
Of course, of course it goes to the Marine. And then the police were just kind of coming around the people. We broke that up. And I bet there won't be any real.
Well, how about the most Patriots for our own Cancel This Show Patriots? We've got those guys as well. We try to give you guys Patriots. We give you some recognition. We give you name recognition when we possibly can. We'll do that. Ethan says, what a dumbass for those guys messing with U.S. Marines.
I mean, how stupid could they be? That just shows you what's wrong with our youth today. Who they can fight with guns.
But it looked like they were arresting one Marine. And the Marine, and the only the first punch was thrown
by the guy with the hair.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see that they were arresting the Marine, but maybe they will.
All right. Yeah. Can we go ahead and show the? I don't know what this fight's from. That's not Marines. Joe. Can we please go to the Patriots?
It is kind of fun watching fighting, though. I mean, there is something fun about watching people fight. Don't you like that, Vic?
I don't know.
Like when I go to a Blues game or any hockey game, I like when they fight. And when they put that rule in or whatever, they couldn't fight as much.
Yeah, well, fighting on the ice is fun.
I don't know. I like to see one of those
You're a true St. Louisan.
Yeah, I like to see the fight.
For the longest time, St. Louisans just wanted to see fights and not Stanley Cup championships. But But that brings up a whole nother thing about fighting because, we won't get into today. But I want to say special thanks to our Cancel This Patriots. Our market team puts this together. Heather Harms, Jay Saunders, Pam Gifford, Sarah Miller, Jamie Human, Abe Rivera, Tracy Theed, Robert Peterbaugh.
Her son was on.
Oh, okay. Brenda Niedringhouse Eckert, and Glenn Thompson. Thanks for your support of the show. You are on this week's Cancel This Patriots page. Thanks for the reminder there, Joe. This is the fastest 2 weeks, or fastest 2 weeks.
Flew by.
Fastest 2 hours in podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
It is anywhere. You know what we try to do. We're grateful for everybody's support. If you know of anybody that can help us and donate with the show for the bills, we're grateful for that because we do everything by ourselves, self-funded. If you know of anybody that could be interested in advertising, let us know from that standpoint as well. Vic at cancelthisshow.com, Lizzie at cancelthisshow.com, and we will go ahead. And Todd says amazing people right there. Very nice of you to say that, Todd. We're grateful for the show today. Coming up tomorrow in the 9 o'clock hour, we've got who again, Lizzie?
We have in our 9 o'clock hour, we have David Valentine, and he's from the Freedom Express Media. And he is the one that his company is the one that is right outside of the prison in DC, where the J6ers sing the national anthem every night. And he films that every night. So he's going to be on at 9 o'clock tomorrow in light of the things that we were talking about J6 today.
All right. We appreciate you joining us today, guys. So for Pro Joe, thanks for running all the videos today, big man.
big
It
man.
was
Glenn,
a lot.
Glenn says, "Oh my God, does this mean we're on the FBI watch list now?"
Oh, we already have been on the FBI watch
I'm
list.
sure
for
we're on a list somewhere.
And of
We're on a
course,
list.
Aaron
We are
says they
so on a
slice throats at hockey games now. Apparently,
Yeah, apparently.
For Lizzie Sparks, I'm Vic Faust. Thanks for a very popular show again, guys. Have an awesome day. We'll catch you tomorrow. That does it for the November 20th podcast.